Who are you and where are you from? There's two of you, obviously, so take turns.
I am Blaise Barham,
And I'm Sarah Barham.
and we represent SBZ Productions, Sahara Breeze Productions. Sarah is Sahara, I'm Breeze,
Nice.
and the capital Z is Zoe. And we also have 6 other new creatives on our team as of this year, which
That's a
is
lot.
Becky Hudson, Brent Caldwell, John Googe, Matilda McAndrew, Miko, and Richard Huber.
So what do you do?
We're basically a theatre production company. So we started in 2019. Basically, in order to put a show on with me and my dad, because we never shared a stage, and he was in his 80s at that time. And we put a show on called Dear Lupin, directed by John Googe, and toured that through Central Otago. Then in 2020, we did a show called Two
Which
together.
we toured again through Central Otago.
Yeah, and then we actually brought to a Dunedin Fringe in 2021. We got nominated for most outstanding performers.
Yeah,
for that
Nice.
show, which was a great show,
That's
which we're
amazing.
really honoured by. And then what else have we done? Dracula: The Bloody Truth. We did that 4-handed farce at the Mayfair Theatre. We're originally from England, kind of in a multiple way, and then came to New Zealand, emigrated here over 20 years ago to Queenstown.
we moved out here a couple of years ago to go to university to study theatre, and we really loved it. We got here, and people, like the acting community, was so generous and open and wanted to collaborate. I mean, we met Richard Huber. He came to see Two and said, I really like this. I feel like I want to write a show for you. And we went, go ahead.
Nice.
And here we are in 2023, and we've got a show that he wrote. So
Cool, wonderful.
So if someone was kind of being taken to your show and they didn't know what it was, like a friend or family member was like, come with me, and they just kind of walked into your show, how would you describe it to someone who like didn't know what they were coming into?
Well, we've got 4 shows.
I know.
in
You might have to. You might
one of
have
the reasons
to.
for that is that we were in Dark Radio with Marty Roberts and Wonderful last year, but COVID kind of stopped that. So hence we've got those. So we've got Wonderful that we've been touring.
Yeah.
So Wonderful would be, how would we describe it?
It was a 1920s sort of Noel Coward-esque kind of romantic sort of comedy, but it's got surreal elements to it. It's a journey that you go on with a lady and her butler, and they're stuck in a room together, and they've grown up together, but obviously the social distance, the social class has divided them, and they're sort of negotiating their feelings for each other across this social divide, and the blocks that are in their way. And the audience all the way through is like, what happens? Do they end up together? Do they not? And then and there's a lot of throwbacks to times in the past, and also she's writing a play, so you also get bits of the play that she's writing, so the audience can be a little confused at times but intrigued.
Why do you art?
Because we love it, basically. I mean, I've always sort of been in it, and Blaise's father has, and through his father and myself, we dragged him in, kicking and screaming to start with, but now he's the one that's obsessed. So but we just did it part-time, while we were working and running our own language school. And then when we left that, we thought we want to do it full-time, and Lisa Warrington, who's directed us in the past and been a big influence, she says, well, come to Dunedin, it's got its own theatre at the university, people here are really welcoming, come and do it. So we did, and we love it. So we've moved here sort of full-time now.
Why art? Oh, I think it's amazing, really, just being when you're able to be creative and in an environment that is accepting of what you're trying and what you're doing. I think there's nothing better in the world, actually. It's a real joy.
And the last question would be, what does the Dunedin Fringe Festival mean to you?
Oh, well, like I mentioned a little bit before, for us, because we're in central in Queenstown for a long time, we're very active, remarkable theatre at that time, but there wasn't really a lot of opportunities there for learning, etc. So we'd travel for to Australia or different places just to do short workshops and things. But it was a real, for us, doing Fringe for the first time was a bit of a step up for us, I think, or starting to do our own production company outside of community theatre. As a production company, all the amazing kind of young creatives that we've seen as part of coming up through the courses at the university, theatre courses, this is an opportunity to kind of step into something in the sort of semi-professional world outside of uni. So that's really encouraging that, hence doing kind of multiple shows and more creatives. It's just encouraging people to then step into that, and then that can lead into something more, into touring or national, international.
And we also met a lot of the people we work with now through the Fringe. Because Richard came to see us in our Fringe show of 2.
Yeah.
We met Jordan and Chris through 2.
And,
and then we met them again at university, and it built friendships. But Fringe is a brilliant place to meet other creatives.